little bit of crispness is in the air, and that means if you've had indoor plants outdoors, it's time to bring them inside. Jessie here from Tonkadale, and I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. I actually brought one of my spring containers from home. This was my favorite container of the year. I had it in a shady location with a little bit of morning sun. I always love to use a ton of foliage, and because I use foliage, a lot of these plants can be repotted and brought indoors for the fall and winter season and used as houseplants. I have an assortment of drop-in containers. I like to plant my indoor plants in plastic drop-in containers or nursery pots, because then I can simply set them in their decorative pots, which makes it really easy to take them out of the pot to the sink for watering. And you can go back and forth, gives you a lot of flexibility in where your plants are housed. I also have some terracotta pots. Of course, you can plant directly into anything that does have a drain hole. All right, so I'd like to bring this ruby rubber tree inside, my Scindapsus silver something, and I'm thinking about this angel wing begonia. The maidenhair fern is looking amazing. It grew like 3 times as big as when it started. I think I might lend that one to the compost bin just because they're a little bit more difficult for me to take care of indoors, but let's see how it looks as we get going here. So I have some fresh potting soil. We love the Soul Soils Chunky Houseplant Mix. That one's amazing. So we'll use that for repotting. The first thing I do before bringing plants inside is actually take my hose and hose them down. Fronts of the leaves and backs of the leaves. Plants get kind of dirty and grungy when they're outside. I mean, there's going to be dust and grime and spider webs and acorns and all kinds of things mixed in here. So we're going to wash it down really well with a hose. For right now, I have a spray bottle. We can give everybody a nice shower. Again, fronts and backs of leaves. Then I'm going to come in with a pair of cleaning gloves or simply a rag, but I like to have the cleaning gloves for indoor leaf cleaning. And we're going to wipe every single leaf down, front and back. All right, everybody had a really nice shower. They're feeling fresh. You might let this pot sit out and kind of dry in some indirect sun, so you're not bringing a big sloppy mess indoors. I like to do my repotting outdoors because it's just easier, because I am a messy Jessie. A lot of you are wondering about, like, what about bringing insects in the house? Yes, we are going to address that, but because this is a mixed container, I want to kind of take everything apart so I have full access to all of the leaves, and then we'll talk about pest control. And here we go. I have my favorite tool, the Hori Hori knife, and I'm going to use that to get in there and separate all the roots. Don't worry about being rough. These plants, they can take it. There's an acorn. Oh, the squirrels. Oh my gosh. Oh no, that's from the tree. Look at, an oak tree is growing in there. Ooh, got some good growth on that puppy. All right, I have an assortment of pots, so we're gonna see who fits where. Let's start from easiest to hardest. I think the Scindapsus is going to be the easiest. Has a really nice root ball. And I think pretty suitable for this 6-inch pot. So I am going to take as much of the old soil off as I can. And that'll help get rid of some of the creepy crawlies that go in the soil. You could rinse the roots, but I'm not too worried about it. A few little centipedes don't really bother me. You could do some root pruning if you wanted to, but I like those nice juicy roots. Put some fresh potting soil in the bottom of my pot. Lower it in. Tuck it in tight. That looks awesome. Look at that. Look what it grew. I think this taller pot's going to be really good for the rubber tree just because it's pretty tall. We can clean up some of our soil and use that. This one might need a bamboo stake or two just to, so it's nice and steady, because it did get kind of long. Once it gets in some bright light indoors, it'll really toughen up and straighten out. I think the begonia is going to look really awesome in this terracotta pot. These are angel wing begonias. They're also called cane begonias because kind of look at that cane-like structure of the leaf, which is pretty cool. Sometimes repotting plants is a doubles activity. You need someone to hold the plant and someone to dump the soil. So consider recruiting the person you live with to help, or have a repotting party, serve one of your favorite beverages, and go to town. You could share plants. Like, I'm not super hip on bringing the maidenhair fern inside, but one of my friends might be. All right, you get the idea about repotting plants. You want to make sure they have a little bit of room to grow, but not too much excess soil, so that when you're watering, it's keeping the roots really wet for a long time, because that soil can act kind of like a sponge. I have my beautiful begonia, my ruby rubber tree, and my silver satin something. I'm going to give the maidenhair fern to a friend, and I want to just check out this bromeliad actually really quick, because there's a really cool lesson here. So bromeliads put up bracts or modified leaves that kind of look like a flower. You can actually see the spent flowers that were purpley blue right inside. It's not super attractive at the moment, so I'm going to chop it out. There's lots of cracks and crevices in this one, so I'm going to probably switch this one in a bucket of water to get all that stuff out of there. But what's really cool is, because it was love and life outside, it's put on some pups or baby bromeliads. So I can chop right through that and I can create two different plants. And these, this one's actually putting up a bract, which is pretty cool. That doesn't happen a lot. But if you were to keep this one inside for the winter and put it back out in the spring, you might get more bract and flower production. There we go. 2 plants out of 1. How fun is that? I can pot this one. I can pot this one. We have another one over here. This has beautiful silver foliage in a vase-shaped form. I love bromeliads in the house, but it definitely needs a scrub-a-dub. Now let's address the pest issues. So one thing you want to do while it's still warm outside and plants can be treated outdoors is to treat them with some sort of an insecticide. You can choose to use something that's suitable for organic gardening or something more conventional. It's kind of up to you and what works for you. Insecticidal soap is great. We also have neem oil. I love this product from We the Wild. It's a neem oil, but it also has some fertilizer components in there that are absorbed through the leaves. So this is really great. Again, spray the tops. You'll spray the tops and bottoms of the leaves. You don't want to leave plants out in the sun when you're applying any type of oil, because that can cause sunburn, can really magnify the intensity of the sun rays. So we'll do tops and bottoms, stems of all the leaves. You can just let it air dry, but this is a great way to get rid of any bugs or eggs that might be residing on the growing tips, on the undersides of leaves, on the stems. And it smells really good too. As we're going into the fall and winter months, the days are getting shorter, so light levels are lower. Plants are going to kind of stall out and not be as actively growing. I do want to give them a little bump of fertilizer, and I'm really into the Grow Concentrate from We the Wild. So this is just a teaspoon per liter of water. I water all of my plants with a wine bottle, so I just go dribble in my wine bottle, fill it up, and then deliver it to my plants. So let's get them a nice little boost. Liquid fertilizers are going to be absorbed really quickly and used really quickly for the next couple of weeks while plants are still outside, or as they're coming in. You can give them a little bit of a nutritional boost to set them up for a healthy season indoors. Just like we took time to divide our bromeliad, there's also an opportunity to pinch and prune plants and get them in the shape that you want. This one, when you pinch above a node, you're going to have 2 growth tips emerge from there. So this helps make plants fuller and fluffier, and also just kind of checks the height. So this begonia, if grown in bright indirect light, is just going to get so big and beefy over the winter months. It's going to be gorgeous. And then I can bring it back outside and use it in a container next season. I can continue to enjoy it in the house. I can do whatever I want. Bringing your foliage plants back indoors after the spring and summer is actually super simple. Make sure to wash them down, repot them, prune them, treat for pests, shine them up, and enjoy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at Tonkadale.
Dirty gloves.